For some time now, we've tried to figure out some way that we could be in better touch with you.
And it's nice to be able to sit down and chat a little bit about some of the things going on.
It's going to be rather informal and a little bit disorganized.
So we'll try to keep it on that kind of an easygoing, informal basis.
And we hope that it will be useful in maintaining the kind of communication that you'd like to have.
Hi, I'm Doug DeVos.
And I'm Steve Van Andel.
And we want to welcome you to Open Meeting. Hi, everyone. I'm Doug DeVos, and alongside with Steve Van Andel, we want to welcome you to Open Meeting. This is kind of a new thing for us with the technology and the environment that we have here, but it's really about just talking about Amway with Amway friends and Amway leaders and being together, isn't it, Steve?
Oh, it is. We've never really done something like this before, so we're trying to host a little session where we can talk with you and just tell you about what's going on in the world of Amway.
Our dads used to do these sorts of things, but they didn't have the ability to reach a global audience like we have today, or to be able to consistently talk about new issues that are coming up or the breadth of the business.
You know, the great thing that we all have together is a partnership. You need to keep talking with each other. I know Dad and Rich, when they first got together, they talked about 25 cents because it was the ride back and forth to school that Rich needed. And my dad had a car. And so that was where they first connected. But ever since that date, you know, they continue to talk to each other and they talk to each other to create the trust between the partnership. I think we're doing a little bit of that as well.
You know, that's exactly right. It's important to have these conversations because when things are happening pretty quickly, or when you hear about something happening in another part of the world or something that the company may have done or a product issue, we need to have the conversation and make sure we're all as much on the same page as possible. And that's hard to do in a global company with, you know, every time zone represented and all the different languages that we have going on. And so we just want to start a dialogue and keep a dialogue that is a little bit of us talking, but it's also making sure we're listening, getting questions, getting issues, you know, talking about topics that are important to you, to your prospects, your customers, or others that are just interested in what you're doing with your Amway business.
So it'll be a lot of different things. We'll, as Doug said, we'll talk about everything from products to just the business itself and what's happening around the world. Sometimes we see a lot of what's happening in our own market, but maybe not what's happening on the other side of the world. And we'd like to kind of bring you up to date on all of that.
Yeah. And it's pretty important because there's a lot of great things going on. You know, when you look around the world, what are people doing to increase or enhance ABO success? What are the things that really work? Well, we can talk about that and share the strengths and the weaknesses and how we can learn together as we go forward. Well, as we have these conversations, we're going to have a few recurring themes that are going to be part of this going forward. We're going to hit key topics in the business for sure. We're going to bring in some guests so we can expand the conversation. We're going to look at the archives and see what kind of is fun in our past that can still be relevant for our future. You know, there's trends, there's new data that we're developing on a regular basis that we're going to want to share and talk about. And as always, we're going to want to take questions. So we want to hear from you about what's important for you that we can talk about.
And that's exactly it, Doug. It's Open Meeting, and we'd like to have a discussion with you on those things that are happening around the world of Amway today.